Protenuator! I just built an MPC261 Keys out of 2 used purchases. This Akai MPK261 that I scored for $100, and my Akai Force, which are on sale on the used market for $500-ish, $600-ish right now. It's ridiculous. So I scored this 261 and I wanted to tie in these pads and these faders. And I've done so. I think I'm really fast at it now. So we're going to go through all of this really quickly in a final run. We have control of our drums. Volume at the mixer. Sends on the twisty fly. Mute buttons ready to go. Now let's figure out how we did this. And I'm going to do this in a new track because I've got this one all worked up. It took me a while, and I kind of want to see the time, so I'm going to stop talking here and we'll just speed this up. But I'll go through the process on the first ones as I go through this. So load, and I'll go to one of my other kind of cool tracks. I mean, they're all weird. Dark Times is one of the first ones I published. It's just kind of a rager. Not too dynamic. So the dynamism is something I needed to work on as a edit. All 8 layers here. You're only going to be able to access 8. So if you have any MIDI information, you can toss it out to the side. This one has 2 drum kits, so I can alternate back and forth with an A and B, and that's kind of cool. I don't think I've done that really on many other tracks. So 9 and 10 have the MIDI. They're already kicked off to the side. 1 through 8 have everything that I want to see right there. That's perfect. Save to begin, just in case it's not a 3.6 file, and that way, just to make sure we're in 3.6 format. You can usually tell because 3.6 kicked it back to 1 bar. If you have like a 4-bar trigger set, you hit shift and the number keys to correspond to the little number letter bars below it to have your triggering loops happen, and then you can time your things better and have your hands on other keys as it drops into a drop on the 4-bar. So I know I haven't touched this track because it's on a 1-bar and I just don't like that. So I'll save it again. And here we go. Menu. I've cleaned this up. I put sounds, sampler, XYFX, sample edit, and track edit on the left. I tossed a bunch of crap off to here that's already represented in buttons. And now I've got MIDI Learn on the bottom left, which I can just hop right into. Now, I want to map my faders to the track volume of each channel. The knobs to either send 1 or 2 in the mixer. So here's the volumes the faders are going to affect. The sends right here, 1 and 2 correspond to, if you hit master and effects, the 1 and 2 returns, which is reverb and delay. You can add more stuff to this, but as stock, it's got reverb and delay in there, and you can send to it without having to add effects to every single track. So it saves a lot of memory space. If you really like spring reverb, then use the damn spring reverb on that track or switch it into the send on the return side. And we're going to send it out, get the volume back in an affected way, and use less CPU as long as we want the same kind of reverb, the same kind of delay on anything that we're going to send to it. So to separate those things out and have independent things has its purpose. This is to keep things really simple so I can dial them up here for any of the 8 channels for either effect of reverb or delay. So the third thing is the mute buttons right here. I can hit mute, but then I've come out of looking at record arm, and I want to see record arm. I don't often solo, and the clip stop, I'll go to it if I want to use it. But I want record arm down here active at all times so I can see which ones are record active. So let's move on to just getting through this as fast as freaking possible. We're going to go, I'll do the first one by microphone for each of these. So I'll do channel 1s, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to rip through the rest of them, and you just repeat that process and work your way through each of the tracks. So, happy with this? Menu. Time check. Go. MIDI Learn plus. This gray bar here, source. Boom. Down to track. So we hit the button, roll down one, hit the button. Electro House Kit Massive, Electro House Kit Massive. You can affect pads and various other things in there. Target, we want volume. I guess I'm doing that one first. I can work top to bottom. Let's do send 1 for reverb for the drums. The delay just didn't sound good the other day when I did it. And learn is on. Twist the knob, we're in. Absolute CC is a control change. It's got a target, an action, and a channel. So plus, we want the same track, the drums, target, volume, move the slider, absolute CC. That's sending 1 to 128 on here. So we verify we're seeing 12, 29, and we should be seeing, what was it? 37 probably here. Now plus, same thing, source, button, turn, track, Electro House Kit, so enter, target, mute. Hit the button. So instead of absolute CC, we want a momentary button, not a fixed button or a toggle button. Momentary because of how this clicks and returns. That was channel 1. I've got 7 to go. Time me. Boom. Now go to pan and volume and see. On mine, there's only one that's muted right now, but I've got all these mute buttons, so we gotta turn them off, which will turn it on, and then we'll go through a cycle here. So those just turned off. That's nice. This one's muted, off, grabs it. Now it's off. That one's just weird. Now we're set. Set your volumes accordingly. Save your project. All right, just think about that. I was one track, and my neck is sore from leaning and grabbing, and that times the 60 or 70 that are in each force with multiple mixes of each is just going to be a pain in the ass. So if we condense everything down and get what we want inside of our 8 right here, we've got control over everything. It's visual and tactile, and we have drum control, which is really cool. We'll go MPK261 Port A, MIDI channel 10. Sweet. And then all the others will go all ports, channel 1. All ports 1, all ports 1. And that prevents the drums from kicking down, synthesizer sounds. Sweet! Alright, now I can take this track, save it, and then I'm going to do a save as into my templates folder, then delete everything from the track, and then you go into presets. Let's just do that real quick. Save as, and I'll bump up to my templates folder. So starting with template, so I know what it is, and they all sort by that if they happen to, be moved into a folder and I want to access them quickly without them being foldered. Dark times it. And now I know that if I want to access something within that sound kit and build out from it, I've got it right here. The MIDI's already tied in. We're plug and play. And then I can use this as a template to build future songs that are different. So it's got to save all that shit that I had put in here. There's a lot of save files. I did a lot of work on this one. I think it came from an old Ableton Live file. So now we'll go to launch and just delete everything, which is really painful. Just remember, this is your second copy. We need to delete all those samples that were here from the previous thing. Otherwise, it's going to save all that shit every time, and it just balloons to twice the file size and has to hold these things in memory. So we'll go project, menu project, and down here at the bottom it says purge. And we will purge all unused samples. And then go back and save the project. All the samples that are loaded into your plugins, all that stays fine. All the sounds that are in your drum kit, even if you didn't use them in the MIDI, none of them are used right now. You can see those are still fine. So it's not going to purge that. It's going to purge all of your recordings, all of your audio stuff, all of your extra vocal takes that are in there that you deleted. They don't really get deleted. They're still held in there. They're just not on your screen. So everything that you record is also recorded into this folder, and it may be gone from the screen, but you can go back and load it in later if you wanted. Or you can purge it, and those samples go away, and now your save file is way smaller. Your load and save times are way quicker, and this is fresh and ready to go for another session. So now I've gone through and done 2 of my tracks with that incredibly painful process. But from it, I do have 2 complete, very happy MIDI templates. And I can open and go. Hope this helped. We have control of our drums. Volume at the mixer. Sends on the twisty fly. Mute buttons ready to go. I don't really care about the transport controls because I've got stuff down here. But I will see if this track skip helps in any way. Make sure that you saved your preset by hitting the over button and then just enter. And then it'll be there when you turn this back on. Make sure you save your projects often. Hug your friends. Bring in good energy. Give it back out. Make the world a better place. Pretend you're out.